Talking about erectile dysfunction isn't easy. Most brush it off or blame themselves, saying things like, I lost my mojo. Or people make excuses like, I had a long day at work. Sorry, honey, I'm just not feeling it. Guys, with Roman, it's easy to talk about with a real healthcare professional who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. Getting started is easy. Just go to getroman.com/Chael and complete an online visit. Go to getroman.com/Chael today. If approved, you'll get $15 off your first order of ED treatment. Okay, get a load of this. Nate Diaz throws a party. Now, Gilbert went to the party, so I'll talk to Gilbert. I'll find out some of these questions that I have, but I don't know them right now. Here's what happened, okay? Nate rented a house in Arizona. He didn't stay at the fighter hotel. He rented a house. He then, after the fight, throws a party at the house. Oh, by the way, guess who was invited? Everyone. He announced it in the ring, and then he put the address on Instagram. Now, Nate All In has a reach of about 5 million. Okay, so I can only imagine how big this party was. I can only imagine how many of you went to his Instagram and followed it up and made your way out to this house. What I'm thinking about is the guy that rented the house. I would imagine this is like an Airbnb situation. Probably quite literally an Airbnb. And Nate logged on and Nate signed up for X amount of days. I don't think the guy knows that he was going to throw a party and invite 5 million people. I don't know. I don't know how it went. Gilbert went to it. I'll find out. I don't know if there was security there. I don't know if they charged you at the door. I don't know how this works. All I know is somebody rented a house out and had 5 million strangers invited to it. It doesn't sound like the world's greatest recipe. By the way, and Nate Diaz, I must give him credit. He had a fantastic line. It was before the fight. Dana was talking about whoever wins the fight can fight the winner of whoever wins between Colby and Kamaru. Nate said, I don't care if I beat Leon. I'm still fighting for the championship. Now, the reason it was a great line is because there's a lot of truth in that. The outcome of a Nate Diaz fight does not matter. The outcome, it absolutely does not matter. Whatever he does next, it will be a main event and he will sell out an arena. And if he comes in second in that one, whatever he does after that, he will be a main event and he will pack the house. He got to a point in his career. It's the ultimate spot. And I could only run through 3 or 4 guys this has ever happened to. There's nothing you can't plan for this. It just happens. But it is the ultimate dream, which is the outcome of your matches no longer matter. For everybody else, you could be released. You could be fired off of a loss. Your placement on the card is going to sink. Your ranking is going to head south. It is the ultimate spot that you can be in. And Nate didn't play. Nate is an unintentional genius, by the way. He and his brother. I give neither of them any credit because I don't think they planned it out. I don't think it was strategic. It just unintentionally kept working. I mean, for Nate to proclaim before the fight, it doesn't matter if he wins or not, he's still going to go fight for the championship. Just to even say the words is fantastic. For Nate to declare after the fight that in a street fight, the only thing that matters is the highest point of the fight, of which went to him when he hurt Leon. Therefore, he's the victor. Like, okay, you won. Nate won. I was convinced. Do you guys remember the night? It's the last time Nick's fought. I happened to be in the arena for it. I don't think me being there gives me a leg up on this story, but it was one of those moments where I remember where I was. Nick fought Anderson Silva, and Anderson picked him apart for 25 minutes. And Joe Rogan interviews Nick after, and Nick said, yeah, I don't know what's up with that decision. I thought I won every single round. I'm in. Forget what my lion eyes just showed me. Nick won every single round. Right? It was just one of those fixes. It was one of those quick fixes that nobody could get away with unless you're one of the Diaz boys. It was another one of these unintentional, brilliant moves. You guys remember when Nick didn't show up to a press conference, don't you? Talk about unintentionally brilliant. He doesn't show up to a press conference. This wasn't a big press conference. 5 and 6 people are there. 3 and 4 matches are put on. It was George St. Pierre, Dana in the middle, and an empty chair because Nick didn't get on the airplane. Dana was so upset. He's going, how can I possibly keep this fight on? If I can't even count on you to come to a press conference, how can I possibly count on you to show up on fight night? Dana was so upset. Here's what happened. SportsCenter picked it up. It was such a great visual of Dana White up there with George St. Pierre in his fancy suit with his gold belt and an empty chair. It was such a compelling shot. SportsCenter ran it. There was nothing that Nick could have done at that press conference. Nothing. He could have lit up a joint. There was nothing he could have done if he was there that would get as much play as the empty chair, Dana in the middle, on the phone to Cesar Gracie. You guys remember this? The whole thing, it could not have gone better. It was the most brilliant mark. Dana had to keep the fight on. He had, deal with whatever I got to deal with. I'll pay somebody to go out to Stockton and walk him and give me I don't know how Dana handled it, but he had to keep the fight on. It was everywhere at this point. He was not bluffing. He was serious. He was going to pull it out. Hey, done. You can't come to a press conference. I can't trust you to come anywhere else. I'm not selling people a ticket for something I don't believe I can produce. It was one of these things. It got so big. It got so big. I watched it on sports. I went and rewatched it. There is a visual component to this that you cannot beat. There was George. There was Dana. There was an empty chair. It probably added 30% to their pay-per-view. Whatever the number was going to be, that probably tacked on about 30%. And I remember the PR folks at the UFC for this. They were sweating it. They thought this pay-per-view was going to bomb. They thought it was going to bomb because they were juxtaposing how much coverage they were getting, how many interviews, what was Nick doing? He wasn't doing any. George was never great at that. That's just not what George did. Didn't like to do that. Didn't do very much of it. Nick did none. They couldn't even get him on the phone. The PR people, they thought it was going to bomb. It did the opposite. It did the opposite. It turned out that Nick was a brilliant marketing guy. I'm just not giving him credit because I think it's unintentional.